Welcome to mini slide program number 5. The blocks need to be placed on the outer rim except for your 9 and 3 blocks, which need to be in the inner ring here. And I need you to start with your left shoe cover off, right shoe cover on. We are going to start with your left foot being placed somewhere between your 3 and 9 and your 6 o'clock block here. And we are going to be doing wipers. So your left foot is in the middle of these 2 blocks, but giving you room to slide your right foot from your 9 to your 3, your 9 to your 3. Okay, so 1 minute and begin. 9 to 3 and 9 to 3. And as you're doing this, I want you to be really cautious that you are standing tall and upright. Your hands are going to be on your hips so that you can feel your pelvis again shifting. So when I go this way, my right shoulder dips and my right hand lowers. And when I go back up tall, my left is going to dip, my left shoulder is going to dip. So side to side here, back and forth. Again, challenging just on that stabilizing leg. You may feel your foot having to work, your calf having to work, pushing into the board. You're getting motion of that pelvis going side to side, shoulders dipping, pushing into the board even with your sliding foot, so you're giving yourself some resistance and trying not to get much in the way of rotation going on, okay? That's not what we're going for. We want you up, tall, and just side to side dipping of the shoulders. Okay, great job. And now I just need you to switch. Put your shoe cover on your left. Take it off of your right. So now your right foot can have a stable spot right there in the middle between your 3 and 9. And so this time we're going to slide with your left foot going side to side. Hands on your hips again. And 1 minute. Begin, side to side again, letting that shoulder dip to guide that pelvis. Again, by this point, you understand the importance of turning on those pelvic floor muscles by moving that pelvis, right? Movement and motion is what gets muscles to engage. We need muscles to move in order to get strong. So we're trying to turn those on in this side-to-side motion here, going back and forth. And while we're doing this, of course, that stabilizing leg is getting some strength and some practice controlling the motion. Dipping side to side. Got about 10 seconds left. You're trying to keep up a nice steady pace, but if you feel like your balance is too challenged, you can just slow it down a little bit. Just remember, it's not about just moving the foot, right? We want that hip to bump, side to side. All right. Great job with that. I need you to add your right shoe cover back on. So remember, you're slippery, so just be careful. Sit down, find a chair or something, get that right shoe cover back on. And our next exercise is fast sliding glides. So we've done these before, but this time it's all about the speed. So again, you're going to push into the ground. It's all about how fast you can move those feet side to side while controlling the motion. So we're going for 1 minute. Ready? And begin. Sliding, pushing into the board, staying solid, hitting those blocks really squarely. Just that fast back and forth motion. You may feel those glute muscles working, those inner thighs turning on. Good work. Heart rate's getting up a little bit. If you need to slow it down, no problem. You can slow it down. We're just really looking for some good solid motion. Feet apart, feet together. Feet sliding out, feet coming together. Chest up. A little bend in the knee. Hips on fire. It's all good. Keep going. 8 seconds. Great job. And rest. Good work. Okay, a little sumo squat here, really fast ones. So again, we're trying to train that pelvic floor to be able to handle the bulbous effect of what happens when we jump or when we move quickly, when we lunge, when we reach for something, when we go to grab our kid and pick them up. So your pelvic floor needs to be able to extend and then return. So we want it to be able to lengthen and then contract back up. So we're gonna start with our feet in the center of our board, and then they're gonna slide out to hit those blocks. And as they slide out, you can kind of get low. I like to let my arms go back with me. I just feel like it's the right momentum here. And then I'm gonna slide up together, out, hit those blocks, and back up, nice and solid. Remember, this is not a jump, okay? This is a slide out, and then just a pull and squeeze with those inner thighs to get back up nice and tall. 1 minute, and begin. Slide them out, slide them in. Hit those blocks nice and solid. Squat back, let that fold in your hips, let your fingers kind of disappear in there. Right, stick that butt back. Don't forget to breathe. Push into the ground. Squeeze those legs together to come back up nice and tall. This is a challenging one. We're at 30 seconds. I'm already tired. So if you need to slow down, slow down. It's all about the correct motion. Do what works for you today. No matter what stage you're at, this is great motion for your body. You just may need to tone it down, which just may look a little bit like this. Okay, and rest. Great work. Star slides are next on the menu today. So I want you to stand up nice and tall. You can even let your hips come forward a little bit, not with arching your back, but with looking for a little motion in the front of your hips. Hands up nice and tall, and then you're gonna squeeze together and come down low. And back up, and when you hit those blocks, I want you to push those feet out, come up nice and tall, really stretching for the sky. You're lengthening that core, you're getting your pelvis to shift a little bit so that your core muscles can engage, because guess what? They're attached to the front of your pelvis, so we're adding the arms to really include them here. And then back down low, up and nice and tall. Low and up nice and tall. 1 minute. Ready? And begin. Up tall. Come low. Up tall. Really reach for the sky. Engage that core. Good job. Hit those blocks. Let those hips come a little bit forward. Reach high. Feet apart. Good job. If this one's really challenging for you, you can just take the arms out of the mix. If it's too much, just put your hands on your hips. Make your motion a little bit slower. Make your motion a little bit less grand. But if you feel like you can really rock it, great. Arms up. Reach. Reach for the sky. Push those hips forward. Good. Little squat in the middle. Reach up really tall. And rest. Great job. Next one, I'm going to actually have you turn your body so that this now becomes my 12 o'clock block. And I'm going to do a big slide and glide from my 3 to my 9. So I'm going to start here at my 9 o'clock block. Remember, whatever block I'm facing is my 12. And I'm going to really stretch for that 3, back to my 9. If that motion is really too big for you, you can just bump one of your blocks out and move it into this inner ring. But we're really going for lengthening here, lengthening of those inner thigh muscles, lengthening of the pelvic floor muscles. So if you can even go slow, we're gonna go a big slide and glide for 1 minute. And begin. Reach it out and pull it up nice and tall. Reach it out. Good. And it can be just a really slow motion. I think you're gonna feel this in those inner thighs, controlling this. Again, we want you to have success. So if this is not working for you, just make that motion a little bit shorter. This is all about you and your body and what's working for you today. If you feel like you can make this big stretch without leaking, then that's great. You're going to keep on stretching, lengthening, pushing into the board, sliding, pulling that foot towards you. You can look down, make sure you're going right for that block, and then slide up, nice and tall. Good work. And take a rest. 6 to 12s, we're sliding forward and back. So I need you to take off your left shoe cover so that you have a nice stable left foot here. And you're gonna place it out by that 9 o'clock block that you just moved in, just as a reference point. Your right foot is going to slide. So it's gonna slide back to your 6, where you're gonna hinge at the hip. So I want you again to think about your fingertips disappearing into your hip, your butt is coming back, your hamstring is lengthening, and then you're gonna come forward to your 12, extending this hip. So you're definitely not reaching out and reaching back where you're stuck down in this glued down position. It's a down and reach, and then up and reach through. Sorry, it's a back and bend into that hip, and then an up and reach through and extend that hip. We're looking for a ton of pelvic motion from here to here. So we're going 1 minute. Ready? And begin. Slide it back, hit your 6, up to your 12, back to your 6, up to your 12, nice and tall. Now again, it's my right foot that's sliding, but my left side is doing a lot of the work. It's holding all the weight, except for what I'm giving myself for resistance on this right foot, and it's extending up at the top. So it dips and extends, dips and extends, trying again just to get that pelvis moving, trying to lengthen those hip flexors, engaging my core. I'm feeling it right down that whole left side, so I know that I'm strengthening all those muscles that are just holding me up, controlling the motion. Good work, 5 seconds. Control it, and rest. Whew. Okay, same thing other side. So I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna put my left shoe cover back on. Take the right one off. Right foot's going out to my 3 o'clock block here, just as a guide so that it doesn't cheat my toes in or out. My left foot extended, so I'm getting right hip extension here, and then bending at the right hip. Extending, straightening my right leg out nice and straight here at the top, and then bending back. Remember, this is all about form and control. Purposeful motion to turn on those pelvic floor muscles, right? All right, 1 minute, and begin. Reaching it back, controlling that motion, reaching it through, extending at the hip, reaching it back, controlling my balance, extend at the hip, engaging the core, the pelvic floor. Good. Getting those hip flexors working. Now my right leg is really engaged, pushing into the mini slide. Good. Bending that right knee, straightening that right knee. Bending it and straightening it. Purposeful motion for purposeful outcomes. Gaining strength gaining confidence that your pelvic floor is going to work for you. And rest. Last exercise in this program, soccer kicks. You're going to now turn your body, since you have your left shoe cover on, I want you to turn your body to face this direction. So this now becomes my 12 o'clock block here. I'm going to stand with my right foot up against what is now my 3 o'clock block. And my left foot is going to travel from 6 to 12. So it's like you're thinking about like you would be kicking your soccer ball and you really want your hip turned out here. So it's bending again at the hip and then standing up tall and straightening it. And you're going to pause. And this one's really challenging. So we want those hips to go back and we want them to go forward. Your core is being engaged, your glutes, your hamstrings, your hip flexors, adductors, all of it's working hard. So we're going to go nice and slow here for 1 minute. Back and forward. Ready? And begin. So it's bend and then straighten. And think about reaching to those blocks. I'm trying to kick that 12 o'clock block back to my 6, reach through to my 12, back to my 6, reach through to my 12. Pause at the top. Definitely challenging. This motion is not something we do every day. Definitely not as we sit in the car, sit and eat, sit at our desk, sit, whatever, right? We're trying to work against all of those things that we fight every day. Give us more motion. Turn those muscles on. Work that pelvic floor. Good. Extend those hips, which forces our core to turn on here. Good work. And rest. Ooh, all right, same thing, other side. So I'm going to ask you to switch. Take that left shoe cover off. Put it on your right foot. Turn yourself around so that now your left foot is bumped up against your 9 o'clock block. This becomes your 12, this becomes your 6. And my right foot is sliding between my 6 and my 12, just facing the other direction, right? So it's hit this guy and reach out and hit your 12. Reach back, reach forward and hit your 12. We're going for 1 minute at a pace that's reasonable for you. All right? Back, extend up tall, reaching through. Back, extend up tall. Good. Nice job. Challenging those muscles. This is challenging not only my sliding foot, but my stationary foot to control the motion. Slide it forward, slide it back. Feeling a little bit stronger every day, a little bit more flexible every day. Finding success. There is no need to keep leaking when we know what works these pelvic floor muscles and how to train them to turn on. Good. Slide it back, slide it through. Reach and extend. And great job. Give yourself a little round of applause. Nice work. Program 5 is complete.